What's poppin', everybody? Welcome in to the Miss Fest Reviews channel. We are also welcoming in James. He is supporting a loved one, so he is streaming from a public place. Be patient with him. But what's poppin', James? How you doing?
Hey, can y'all hear me okay?
Yeah,
Okay, we good then.
yeah, it's clear. You just got a background that says you somewhere nobody want to be, but
It do look like
no
one
character.
of those.
Looking like when I visited my patients in the psych ward. That's what the background looking like. There's nothing. But I appreciate you for being here. You guys, we are here to go over the Housewives of Beverly Hills. This will not be a long live. It won't be. James has a lot going on today, so I did put up the Valley finale. That I can't believe that was a finale, but the Valley finale video is up on the channel, you guys. I encourage everybody to look into James's channel. The link is in the description of this video, as well as a bunch of other great creators such as Kiwan JTV, JB Says What, Miss Kira Speaks, Shayna underscore MCG, Naima Travels, Oh So Best, and a whole slew of others that I'm probably forgetting. But subscribe, support them, all of those things. Also, check out our new channel, the Watch Your B3ST Friends channel. We will likely be live there on Sunday because we have too much going on Saturday. But give us a subscription. We would appreciate you. But let's get into Beverly Hills. Y'all need Garcelle. I know people are like, why are we talking about Garcelle so much? But my God, when Crystal left, we still had a show. When Lisa Rinna left, we still had a show. When LVP left, we still had a show. When Lip Lickin' Jenkins left, we had a show. When 8.5 left, we had a great show. And Garcelle left, and the show is dead. It's dead. Like it's broken. Like something is wrong. So I'm just
It's like
saying,
everything just dragged, and it was
like you could tell that production when editing,
mm,
like Beverly Hills has always been a little more boring, I think, in earlier seasons. But you could tell that production just could not seem to find anything worth adding to the show. It seemed like we were just dealing with their scraps, like the drafts, and they just put it all in one. But oh, you know what? I just noticed I had the wrong notes open. I was like, Tannen, she's not on Beverly Hills. Anywho, we start the episode bored as hell in the Hamptons. Let me tell you this. Summer House Martha's Vineyard showed me that Martha's Vineyard can be fun, but I feel like Martha's Vineyard is better than the Hamptons. I just do. Because whether they're clear people there or brown people there, it looks fun. But the Hamptons, no shade, the Hamptons looks played out. This trip looked boring. If I go on a trip with my friends, I'm not saying their trip was boring. I feel like they had fun, but just because you have fun with your friends doesn't mean it's interesting enough to film on television.
true.
Nothing that they filmed was interesting on this trip. Now, we see Dorit paying for some clothes. Now, I was thinking she was spending so much money. She spent $4,900, which is not a lot for the Beverly Hills cast. These
Right.
are women we've watched spend $76,000 on their credit card before on trips. But Dorit was struggling to get a $4,900 charge to go through on her card. And if she would have just let it struggle and moved on, nobody would have said nothing. We would have joked and moved on. But when she looked, it was like, haven't you guys heard of a fraud alert? I was like, oh, when that accent disappears, we done caught you in the lie doors. That wasn't fraud protection. Fraud protection doesn't mean you change cards, because my bank does it to me all the time. They be like, was
Hmm.
this you? I reply, why? If I have service. If not, I'm calling. And as soon as I reply why or call, they say, try your card again now. And that thing works. I don't have to change cards. Doris. Hi, Kiwan. Welcome in. Y'all subscribe to Kiwan's channel. She's hella funny, and I love her House of Pain reviews, which I believe she just put some House of Pain reviews up. So give her a subscribe. But James, do you think that Dorit was dealing with fraud protection, fraud alert,
No,
or
this is coming from somebody who works at the credit card company, you no longer have to tell them that you are leaving the States. You only have to tell them when you're going out of the country.
Mm.
So as long as you're in the States, you're fine. So I looked at that. I was like, come on, Doris. You didn't check your balance to make sure you had enough. And you was in there trying to flex and you got caught.
You know,
Point
I'm
blank in the
cracking up
period.
at Kiwan because she right. Doris was trying to call and check her balance.
She should have did that before she went shopping.
James.
So
Oh, that is the truth. That James, you just clocked it. He
yeah,
just clocked it. And for those who do not know, James did work for one of the largest credit card companies in the world, if I so may add. And he
doing
was there
fraud.
for over a decade. Pretty much all of his adult life he spent
Yep.
there. And he left by choice. He could have still been there. He got sick of them, you know what's. But he knows a lot about credit because of it. He understands banks. He understands the ins, the outs, stuff that even myself, I wouldn't understand because I don't work in finance. So thank you, because you literally acted as our expert, as we would call it in school, on this matter. So thank you for that. Hi, Shani. Happy Friday, y'all. We free. Free at last. We is free. I'm so happy. But yeah, Doris, stop BSing us. Doris be trying to act richer than everybody else. And it's like, honey, I may not be rich, but I make decent money. And I know for a fact what the difference between a fraud alert and checking your balance. Doris, stop BSing us. And why are you trying to spend $4,000 worth of money if you obviously can't afford it? If I'm spending $4,000 in one purchase, then you better believe I have some other accounts and cards with that same balance or more on them. You shouldn't have to go through cards. And James is correct. Because when I went to Mexico, Capital One was not even tripping on me.
Mm-mm.
So I'm looking at Doris, and when I leave the state, like I came to see James in Arizona, somewhere I'm never at, I didn't get one fraud alert. And we was
No.
swiping our card
If
left
you're
and
in the
right.
States, like, no, because
They leave you
it
alone.
used to be years ago that you would have to call if you were leaving from state to state. But because people do it so often now, it's like that's too much to tell. So majority of the credit card companies and network logos just said, just forget about it. Like if you leave the country, let us know. But if you're going from state to state, and it used to annoy us because even the people, like, let's say, for example, the people who lived in Philadelphia and having to travel to New Jersey or Delaware for work, that was annoying because they would use their car for like restaurants or lunches. So it was like we just did away with it because it got to be too much.
Yeah. No, I believe that. That makes sense. Doris, stop BSing us, girl. It's okay if you ain't rich. I would actually like Dorit, and she could actually win a lot of people over if she would lean into basically having to start over and build her wealth again. I mean, obviously she makes more than the average person, but with the debt that she's in, she's obviously going to have to rebuild. And we would respect her if she would show that. But for whatever reason, she won't. But let me catch the comments before we move forward. Shani said if she would have had to take that shit off and return the rest, it would have made my day. I'm over here trying to give her a bone. Like, hey, just show us you broke, girl, and we you might be able to turn us around. Sandy said, absolutely not. I'm laughing. They would have made my day. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Shani said, for a second, I thought she was going to try and call PK. He ain't got it either.
Right.
He's I mean, this couple is in financial shambles, if we really being honest.
But to
Uh,
me, I feel like her only check is the show. So,
Honestly, James is correct because Beverly Beach not doing anything. Homeless, not toothless, under investigation by state of California. What else has she done but spend money and give us a headache? And now she got a new cigarette habit. Do y'all know that a pack of cigarettes in California is $10? Doris, them $10 gonna add up. Shani said, when I was on a cruise in Europe, I didn't get no alerts and I was in Israel. Right. Look, your credit card company is also, I had another friend who worked for another credit card company that's out here in the Bay Area. And she was telling me that the credit card companies like the system, when it gets to like after hours and stuff, have algorithms that it's trained to recognize if they see a pattern of you being out of the country or something, or if you
Right.
travel a lot, they may not do that. And I know Shani has told us she done been to Europe, Greece. Shani done traveled, so her bank probably
Hmm.
said she travels. This is no big deal. Doris is full of it. I thought she got housewives money. She lives in California. Housewives money is the equivalent of making the money of a doctor, maybe less.
But I was gonna say
Okay.
maybe a nurse.
Maybe a nurse. And I'm not talking
Yeah.
about like a neonatal nurse or a specialty nurse like 8.5, like just a regular RN. Okay.
Yep.
She tired, her feet hurt, and
It
she need
don't
a
go,
break.
especially the way she lived. It don't go that far. Now, Erica, one thing I would give her, living in somebody's guest house with a private entrance is probably the best bet you can do because that's probably not even 3,000 a month.
Erica's smart. We call that in
Hmm.
California, and I know outside of California too, but those are very popular in California, in-law rentals and in-law units, because a lot
Yep.
of people out here, what people don't understand, they come out here, they get, oh, it's California, we're going to make money and find these nice properties. No, California taxes the fuck out of you. Yes, I'm cursing. They tax us more than the federal government taxes us. Every time something goes wrong, you have to pay. We're limited in utility choices. So when you're making a lot of money or paid in the way that the housewives are, especially when taxes is not coming out of your check, honey, and the cost of living is high, groceries is high, gas is $5 a gallon. It don't go far out here. It don't. If I lived in any other state with my degree and work experience, I would literally be living like I was rich. It's ridiculous. But California and New York want us to be depressed and sad, child. I can't, but I digress. What happened to the wedding dress line? Gone, Shani.
It was a coupon code like Toya's wine.
Thank you for quoting me, but damn, don't use my quote to read someone fulfilled.
I'm just saying, like,
We
let's call a spade
smile.
a spade. That was a coupon code. It was a
It's
smart
true.
move because I'm sure she made some money, but coupon
It
code.
was just a code, which now that she can't afford to wear pieces, it's be hard for her to get brand partnerships like that. Shani said, you see that picture of my profile? That was one of the places in Italy. I used my card all through there. Got not one alert. Shani is not taking her foot off of Doris's neck, and I love it. But yeah, California is really expensive. So just because you see people, making a lot of money, that's why Erica's in a guest house instead of getting a regular rental because it's cheaper. She probably didn't
It
have to get
is
her
so
credit
cheaper.
ran.
Like I don't want to give away two of my secrets because trust me, if I move back to California, that is the exact move I'm making. I'm going in someone's guest house or someone who split their house like a duplex, but it's just a studio. I'm going to that because I saw one for 1,800 right in Northridge. So yeah,
Mm-hmm. Me and
it's very possible. You
Josiah,
just gotta.
we actually did
Hmm?
that for 5 years when we were living in Fremont. When I came to visit you, that's what we were
Yeah,
doing, in-law rental.
yeah.
Had privacy
Hmm.
because the people said their mortgage was too high. And the property tax in California is crazy too.
It's crazy. Yep,
It's yeah, it's a whole
it's more
thing.
than a mortgage in some houses.
Yeah. Like my friend, his mom left him a property. She passed away, unfortunately, but she owned a house in Marin County in Nevada. The property tax, he says he has to pay 10,000 twice a year. He said he is
Hmm.
now fighting to sell that shit, but don't nobody want to buy it because of the property tax. Lord.
Because that's a hard place to get to. Just
Once again, Rachel is out here with these long ass dresses that drag on the floor and a pearl necks that's 45 inches long, wrapped 35 times around her neck. Shani is tired of Rachel. Lord help us. Now, the next thing we see is Kyle talking to Bose on the phone. Kyle and Bose are both messy, and they both try to cover up how messy they are. They are talking on the phone about Dorit. And I'm like, Kyle, why are you checking her pockets? And the worst thing for me to watch is somebody who has it and could write her a check and probably help a lot of her problems go away, her so-called friend. But instead of helping her, you going and talking about her, Kyle. And Bose, you came on this show and aligned up Dorit's asshole so much that I'm sure that it's got traces of brown on it and her skin color may change. So I'm not understanding why Bose is on the phone with Kyle, knowing she just gonna go and tell Doris all the stuff that Kyle is telling her. It's just the exchange that was messy, but apparently Dorit has been messing up this whole trip. Kyle said the cameras didn't catch it, but I'm gonna make sure the audience knows. Apparently Dorit didn't have her passport. And the reason this is a problem, because in California, and I believe this is all over the country now, if you don't have your passport, you need your real ID. And if you don't have your real ID, and if you don't have your passport, then they will not let you fly. You'll have to go aside with TSA and go through all of this crazy stuff. Like, you have to have it. A lot of people don't get their real IDs in California because the DMV want us to bring them, I believe it's a piece of mail, your birth certificate, your lease. Like, you have to bring a bunch of documents proving that you are who you are, basically. What they're trying to do, basically, is in California, if you are an immigrant and do not have documentation, you can still get a driver's license, you can get an ID, you can get food stamps, a job, all of that here with no problem. So I feel like the real idea is just to separate citizens from non-citizens, because I don't see the point. But I'll digress on that because we're not here for politics. But Dorit didn't have that, and she should know about it, is why I'm saying that to y'all. And this caused issues at the airport. Apparently, it's probably why she was late. And, you know, Bose was like, I suggest you have a conversation with Dorit. And I'm like, Bose, but you know you're going to have a conversation with Dorit before Kyle can, which is going to cause more issues. But okay, but how'd you feel about it, James? Because I just felt like I was watching two messy hoes talk.
I feel like this. I feel like whatever Doris gives you at this point, you deserve. That's gonna be one interesting reunion.
It
Because
is.
you talking about her money, talking about the issue she's having, I feel like all that's unnecessary.
Mm-hmm.
Like I gotta defend Doris now. But I feel like cut her some slack. It is what it is. And like you being messy instead of having the conversation with her saying, hey, is anything okay? No matter if she gives you the cold shoulder or not, just, let it be.
I agree with
That's how
that.
I feel. I feel like this was so unnecessary to have that conversation.
It was rude. And if you're really someone's friend, even when you're mad at them, you're careful about what you say about them and how you discuss them. But, you know, vile
Yep.
Kyle,
Oh, habits die hard.
this part, Kyle trying to show that she could be cool with the black lady. Cause I kind of felt like that was that too. Bose and Kyle are a mess. They're both messy. They're both messy, and they may have longevity on the show because of how messy they are, but they'll never be fan favorites. And I know that that
No.
bothers Kyle, and I feel like it also bothers Bose. She won't admit it though. Kyle, if you're nervous about saying any of this to Doris, then maybe you shouldn't say it to anyone at all. If you're too pussy to open your mouth, then keep it closed. Period. Shani, can
That's
we
how I feel.
can
Yeah.
we send this to
Because,
her?
like, if you're not going to talk to Doris, then what's the point of you even bringing this up to Bose?
And Shani's also right again. She's telling Kiwan Bose is going to throw this in Kyle's face later on when they're in front of everybody. She is.
Just like she did Garcelle. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Bose is a snake. Like I said, if you make it in corporate America as a woman, you gritty as hell in some way. But if you make it in corporate America as a black woman, I know, Bose, you either had to kiss their ass and be great, or you were just really that great, because we have to be better sometimes. It's just a fact. But we got to move forward, y'all. Jennifer, Tilly, and Sutton Brown, Strack, whatever the heck she goes by, they go to have dinner in Oceanside, California. Overrated town, no shade. If you're from California, go to Laguna Beach. Thank me later. But Oceanside, California, they're having lunch together. Let me just say, if I ever become rich, I strive to treat people with the respect that Jennifer Tilly gives. Jennifer Tilly knows how to ask for what she wants, but she knows how to do it in a way that is respectful. She said to the waiter, I'm hungry right now. What can I get? She introduced herself and asked what his name was and was just polite. I love when I see people that are filthy fucking rich still have respect and the humility to appreciate and treat others right. We love that. We just do.
Hmm.
So shout out Jennifer Tilly. I really haven't found a bad thing to say about this lady, but I enjoyed that. So I wanted to put a positive light on the episode because nothing else happened. Jennifer Tilly and Sutton are discussing Sutton's tears over this damn Catholic Church dissolution of the marriage. Sutton, just admit that you're not over your husband because you didn't want the divorce he did. He didn't want her. And I feel like because of that, Sutton's not over him. Because why are you crying over the dissolution of your marriage in a church that's shady as hell anyway? But you could still go to church. None of that matters. Like, but we get a little bit more deeper. I think she's crying because Sutton's ex-husband is now marrying her best friend. And Sutton didn't want to talk about that. But again, Jennifer Tilly, in addition to being a sweetheart, I am praising you for actually pulling out the actual story behind Sutton's divorce, because we would have been bored otherwise. Jennifer Tilly let us know that she had been seeing cracks in Sutton's marriage years before they even divorced. And she also let us know that Sutton's ex-husband has been dating Sutton's best friend, a good friend of hers. They raised their sons together. And now he's going to be marrying her. I don't think Sutton, I don't Bitmo believe Sutton is crying over no damn fake ass marriage in the church. I think Sutton is hurt that the ex-husband that she thought she would be with forever, who she gave her life to, gave up her dancing career to raise kids with for, left her out of nowhere and then got with her friend who supported her through the divorce. I would be hurt too, and it's okay to cry over that. It is absolutely okay to cry over that. But Sutton, why did you bullshit us? Thank you, Jennifer Tilly, for telling us the truth. But Sutton, why, why is you playing? I'm Jocelyn. Why is you here? If you're not going to tell us what's really good, then don't tell us nothing at all. Please. I'm sick of Sutton. But how did you feel about Sutton and Jennifer Tilly's meeting?
Once again, Sutton, this is way more juicier than this whole last name debacle and this Catholic Church mess. And once again, thank you, Jennifer Tilly, for one, being just the fresh air this show needs. Like, I get that being a housewife was her choice, and I respect her choice. But I feel like Jennifer Tilly always keeps it real, and she's very much needed because I feel like if they didn't have her, we would be even more bored than where we are today. So I appreciate Jennifer Tilly for that. I also I can relate with Sutton. I understand what that's like. But just say what it is. Say you're hurt or say you don't care, but just say something. But to not mention it at all is crazy when you're on a reality TV show getting paid 6 or 7 figures to talk about this. This would have been perfect. We're looking for something to get some likeness, even though we're not going to like you, but we're looking for some likeness of you, and this could have been it. Because that's crazy as hell. Like the optics of you marrying one of my close friends that we have raised our children with. That is insane. And
Her
that would have
friend
been
got her
perfect
fucked up.
television.
Her friend got her fucked up. Because that
Right.
ain't
Because I could have
right.
brought that friend on the show and cussed her out and embarrassed her on national TV. If it were
That's
me,
if she would have played it smart.
yeah,
She should have
that
acted
would have
like it
gave
wasn't a
great TV.
problem and been playing friendly and filming near him and stuff so that the audience could have figured it out and read her for her. But Sutton don't need to be here no more. I think Sutton without Garcelle is nothing more than a friend of. I think she should go back to the super rich friend of, because her money matches Kathy. Her money matches Jennifer Tilly. Can we just have the
Hmm.
super rich friend ofs if that's the case? But let me get the comments. Shani says James Dora's gonna go off on Kyle before the reunion about this. James dropped out. But you are right, Shani. I think Doris will go off on Kyle very fast. As soon as she finds out. As soon as she finds out. Kiwan says Sutton has nothing. She's literally giving us nothing. If Sutton would have, the fact that she fell in line with what everyone wanted, which was her to pretty much get along with Dorit and side with the popular people, I feel like Sutton doing that kind of ruined her, because her only other storyline, in my opinion, would have been her beef with Dorit. But the fact that Garcelle being gone means you're just automatically erasing that beef, and then even trying to correct your drinking, which you were so mad that someone accused you of having a problem with last season. Like, I don't see it for Sutton. I think she needs to be demoted. It's a waste of a check. Sorry,
Agreed. If she's not gonna
no.
talk about nothing real.
It shouldn't take Jennifer Tilly having to pull certain stuff out. We know more about Jennifer Tilly's divorce and marriage than we know about Sutton's. And Tilly's only
Right.
been here for 2 seasons and ain't even a full-time cast member. Give Jennifer Tilly the check. I don't care if she's already rich, because knowing her, she'll probably donate it and give it back to California anyway, which she does a lot. So please get rid of Sutton, y'all. I can't. Doris was on National buying all those clothes and looking at everything, talking about no, I cannot, no, I cannot. Yeah, Doris, you should not, you should not. Sutton and those peg stick, oh Lord, she called legs when she was playing tennis at the beginning. Please eat something, get a calf implant or something. Oh Lord. Sutton irritated the hell out of Shanny. Sutton got Shanny's teeth itching. I think she crying because Sutton still, she loves that man. She didn't want to leave him. He didn't want her. And as quiet as it's kept, this is why she needs to talk about it more. He was probably fucking on your friend the whole time you was with him. You'd be surprised. A
Hello.
bitch will smile in your face. Because how you end up with her husband after the breakup? That's weird. That's weird. Before this announcement, I think Sutton thought that she could get him back, but now that there's an annulment, it's hitting hard. Oh, it's over for real, forever, ever. Yeah, it sounds like that. Because she used to comment more too about how, oh, I talked to Christian on the phone, and now we don't even hear her saying stuff like that. So I feel like he's moved on and she can't take it. Then Sutton tried to act like she's so above girl. Get the Sutton, like the dislike of Sutton needs to be studied. She went from being a housewife we all questioned for being racist in her first season with Crystal to one of the most beloved housewives to one of the most disliked and least respected housewives. And she did it all in under 2.5 years. That's crazy.
Yeah, it
Sutton needs
is.
help. Let me see here. Bo's talking about how can we support her in not spending outside her means. She's a grown ass woman with kids. She should know that. That's the one area I'll never help a friend with finances. Either you got it or you don't. Call an accountant.
Yep.
Call an accountant. It's crazy. They seem like they're trying to make it like Garcelle was the problem with Sutton not being able to open up and get to know people. Get the F out of here with that. Yeah, she's still not opening up. She's acting like she is. She's trying to manipulate the audience, but she's not giving us nothing. Um, all right, we got to get to the BS of it all. Erica meets with Dr. Jen. Dr. Jen, there's a reason nobody's calling you for no more television specials, and watching you with Erica may be the reason why. Erica talks to Dr. Jen about the $25 million trial she has that she's probably going to lose, and that would be deserved. Pay the victims and my PG&E bill, bitch. That's how I feel. And she also has $10 million trial for tax debt that she owes that Tom left her with. I have a feeling Tom just wasn't paying many of his bills, even outside of the victims and the stuff we know about, because I had never
Okay.
heard anything about this tax debt. Had you?
No.
That's a lot of tax debt. 10 million? That takes years to accumulate. So she had to have just
Mm,
not been talking about that when she was married to Tom.
no, she's probably named in that with him. I think it's their joint tax situation. I don't think it's solely just his. That's just my opinion, and this is allegedly. I think it's both of their tax. I think because he was the sole beneficiary and one bringing the income, I think that that's why, his name is heavily targeted as his debt, but I think it's both of theirs. I really do. I think her name is in that, and at least probably
If you're
one of those
married,
1099s.
if you're married, even when you hit married filing separately, y'all do know the government when it comes to collecting debt, you're
Yep.
married. They're coming for both of you.
Yep.
But I'm just surprised it never came out. But Erica talks about it. Wah, wah, wah. I don't feel bad for her. Figure it the fuck out, bitch. You shouldn't have been shady and you should have maybe checked your husband's documents. That's all I'm going to say. But she talks about Denise. I feel like Erica hijacked Denise's storyline in very real situation. Denise was dealing with serious domestic violence. And I felt like we didn't get to really fully hear how Denise felt because one, Denise didn't seem comfortable, and Erica took over and made it about her. Now, I still feel like Erica is being disingenuous. I don't know why, but my gut just feels like it's disingenuous, her domestic violence situation. I don't feel like she was like getting black eyes like Denise, but I feel like someone might have like shoved her or something, but I don't feel like it may have been as bad as she's trying to make it seem. And I hate to say that, but something about Erica comes off as disingenuous. And I'm also going to say, even if it did happen, I'm going to say to Erica what she said to the victims and the families of people who were victims of Tom Girardi who lost their lives. I don't give a fuck about what happens to you. I only give a fuck about what happens to myself, bitch. So if you don't like my opinion, oh well, fight me. That's how I feel with Erica. How do you feel about the therapy session?
I don't have nothing nice to say about this, so I'm not going to say anything at all. Good luck, Erica, because that's a lot to have on your shoulders. But at the same time, if you were not questioning income, transferring to your bank accounts, credit cards, if you were not questioning that then, don't question it now.
Mhm.
That's how I feel. Y'all have to understand something. When your husband is making 250,000 a year, and then suddenly one year he makes $2 million, are you not going to question that?
Let
Because
me
that's
tell
a
you
huge
this,
ass leap.
even if your husband makes the money. So like when I went to school for my first degree, I did not work that entire time and wasn't working. I didn't work from 2018 to 2023. I still knew what was going on in my husband's account. I still understood where the money that came into his account was going. If money came into my account, I knew where it was coming from. There's nothing that could go in anything with my name on it that I'm not reading, that I don't understand.
Exactly.
That's part of being responsible. I feel like a lot of women want to be independent and all of this bullshit until your man gets in trouble. And then suddenly it's, well, I'm just the wife. He was putting the money in my account. No, you're grown too. You're responsible. Erica's so full of it. She full of it. Let me get the comments. She better sell some of that furniture she stole when she left out of Tom's house. I know she hiding it somewhere. I love Shanny because she probably is hiding it somewhere because it's not in that house. The therapist did nothing to validate Erica's feelings. Dr. Jen has always been a little cringy on TV, but I feel like she's just gotten worse. I don't
Yeah.
know what method of counseling or what theoretical perspective she's going off of, but whenever someone in mental health has doctor behind their name and are a psychiatrist, I always say psychiatrists are truly better at assessing your brain and prescribing medication than they are doing talk therapy. I feel like therapists, counselors, LPCCs, Christian counselors, LCSWs, LMFTs, they're actually trained to talk to you about your feelings and validate you and go through that. And I feel like that's what we're seeing with Dr. Jen a little bit. It's giving California psychiatrist. It just is. It just is. And Dr. Jen's always kind of sucked if y'all go back and watch her other stuff on MTV from back in the day. But it is giving a Yanmu because she was honest with Erica. Like, well, that's life. You're going to have to get over it. No, bitch, offer her some coping skills. Say your feelings are valid. A lot of people experience this, but how about we look into some things that could make you happy or ask open-ended questions? Is there anything that does bring you joy or make you feel like you're escaping your reality for a moment? Like when I was in
I
school
think
for
that's the only
counseling,
thing
that's
that
what
is
they
going
taught
to
us
bring
to
her
do.
joy.
The therapist didn't even try.
Yeah, I feel like that's the only thing that's going to bring her joy is for all of this to go away.
And that's the thing that the therapist should have leaned into. And that's why that was the opportunity as a counselor to offer coping skills. And so I'm looking at that and I'm like, okay, Dr. Jen, you on TV and I know you got them twins you always used to talk about in other people's sessions. So but let me catch the next comment. She's gonna go to her grave with all that jewelry. She ain't gonna give that up. Bitch, sell some of that furniture you stole. I do remember her saying she grabbed what she could when she left. She did, but I think some of the furniture was actually seized and auctioned off
I
already.
was going to say, yeah, it did get seized in auction along with the jewelry she tried to appeal to get back.
Oh, yes, this is the same therapist. They told
Hmm.
Erica you didn't deserve a pizza party. Yes, it is. Eric, Dr. Jen handled as needed. I'm hollering, Kiwan. It's like Dr. Jen can only. I feel like Dr. Jen does know that Erica's full of shit, though.
Yeah, we
And
all
you
do.
can't.
That's why
She
we're
can
not. That's why I'm
only
not
do
buying
so
any of this.
much. If Erica don't admit to like, yeah, I knew, and I wish I didn't. I wasn't okay with this. Dr. Jen can't really do no real work. A therapist can only do with what y'all tell them. You
Yeah,
get out of
exactly.
it what you put into it. The more honest you are, the better it goes. But, child. Shani said, truthfully, I don't think I know how to talk to a therapist. I don't know how to tell a complete stranger my business. A lot of people don't. And most
Yeah,
therapists, when you go to therapy, Usually like your first like 4 to 5 sessions are just chatting and getting to know each other before they jump in, because they're really good at assessing if people are like comfortable talking and jumping into it. Like me, I could just jump into it. And then there's a
Yeah.
lot of people who can't, but they're trained to assess the person and know like how to do it. When they have me doing the little counseling at work, you start to kind of figure out, you can tell who's going to open up and who's looking like, I don't know you. Is it really private? You can tell. You could tell. You could definitely tell. But that's all for Erica. Did you want to add anything?
No. Good luck, Erica.
Right. What you want us to do, bitch? You lucky you here. Do something else, Erica. But back in the Hamptons. I just want to go to sleep mentioning the Hamptons. Doris is late. They gonna be meeting Rachel's family, who seems just as boring as her, but they seem like nice people. And Doris is late trying to put together an outfit, talking about this doesn't give Hamptons. Doris, it's summertime. You're at the beach. I think beach wear is the same in most places. Put something the fuck on. You just spent $4,900. Pick an outfit. She finally comes downstairs and Kyle is calling her out. She's like, it's rude to be late, especially with Rachel's parents here. Now you can recognize Doris's rudeness, Kyle. But seasons ago, or when Garcelle complained, y'all looked at her like she was crazy for saying it, but now you can recognize it. Go to hell, Kyle. Hi, Naya. Happy Friday, boo. I look forward to your channel launch. Shout out to Naya's husband. We waiting. Lord. Shani said, lady, you going downstairs for drinks with the family. If you don't put on an ugly Christmas sweater and some sweatpants and go say hi to the family.
Right. Like, where you think you going? Like, it's crazy.
I cannot with her. I cannot. But she finally gets down there. I'm not going over the scene with the meeting the
I was gonna say you
family.
could skip over that. Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
girl, ain't nothing happen.
Nothing happened there. I'm doing the best I can. This episode was weak as hell, y'all. I feel like they could have combined it with next week's episode, but I'll digress. Now we get a little scene interrupted in the Hamptons of Bose, Keely, and her daughter. I believe her name is Lael. Bose says she's terrified that if she cannot give Keely a baby, that their relationship won't make it. And Keely said, I'm locked in. I'm here regardless. I know Keely. I would be with Bose regardless too.
Me
Big hair
too.
and all. Okay.
Hmm.
Because sister got money. But Keely asked an interesting question that Mrs. Best, aka Amina, viewed as a red flag. He asked, I got fear too. What if I lose my job and don't make the money I'm making? You gonna stick beside me? Men, that is the worst thing you could ask a woman. If you have to ask it, then as a woman, I'm looking at it as you betting on my income and my stability, or I'm looking at it as you're unsure about me.
I looked at it as, is we hypothetically speaking, or is there something going on at them companies that I need to know about?
Because Keely been on camera a lot more this season.
Hmm. What's going on with them companies? What's going on with them businesses? Why you ask me that question? Why would
Look,
that
I
even
think
be a question to ask me?
Kiwan is right. Keely is trying to secure a spot with his broke ass, because don't ask women that question. That's a red
Don't
flag.
ask anybody that question. That question was crazy as hell.
Because you should
I
assume,
was
like,
like,
once you marry somebody, if you lose your job or something happens, for better or for worse, for richer or for poor, your vows cover that. So the fact that you asking this before you marry her is weird.
yeah,
It's also weird that they were willing to try and have a baby so fast when surrogacy existed. Bose could have just simply done an egg retrieval, froze her eggs, and gone from there, and she can afford that.
yep.
It's given storyline, Bose. It's given storyline, or Keely's using you and his edges is showing. Also, tell Keely it's time to go bald, because there's a patch on top of his head that looks like a sandbar when you're on vacation, when the tide
I
hasn't come
saw it.
in. He got to figure that out.
Just
But
let it go,
I'm
brother.
looking at
You,
him with a
yeah.
side eye. And then he was like, I'd love to be a stepdad to Lael. Whenever people use the term I'd love to be a step parent, it usually means they're not too excited for being a step parent. So I'm just side eyeing Keely in every way. Shani said, if you lose your source of income or lose your job, nigga, you better get your ass out there and go find.
I'm trying to tell you.
My husband, the whole time I've known him, if he loses a job or leaves a job, that man be having something lined up. And if he don't, well, I say he will hit the tip agency, be working under the table, whatever it takes. He always gonna work. So the fact that Keely would ask that means as a man, you plan to lose a job and then sit around.
Yep.
Because in California, there are so many jobs here. If you lose a job, it really is. This is a place that is easy to find a job. So when people don't be working, I'd be like, nah, nigga, you just lazy. I'm watching you, Keely. It's going to come out next season that his businesses is having trouble or he ain't got no job for real. We're going to start calling his ass Tommy. You ain't got no job strong.
Maybe.
I actually think Shani might have clocked it because it's looking like that's what they're setting it up for.
That's what it looked like to me.
Now that the baby thing is kind of out the window, that would make sense.
Yeah.
Kiwa said, I saw that patch, but ew, look at Bo's wig. Lord. Bo's wigs. I've just accepted they're not going to get better.
Yeah.
That's all we can do. See, twin, right when I call him Tommy for Martin, you call him bald-headed. Look. He is bald-headed. Let it go, my brother. It's okay to be bald. Some of the finest men in the world are bald. Morris Chestnut. Amen. Trying to tell y'all. But the last thing we see in this boring episode was the ladies in the Hamptons. They go out to eat. And Rachel starts talking about her divorce. And I wanted to take Rachel and do like that meme y'all see of Jim Carrey in that movie, chasing them with the chlorophyll to knock him out. I wanted to make Rachel be quiet because I felt like she shouldn't have talked. Now, Rachel wasn't saying much about her divorce, which I kind of felt was a red flag, but the ladies are out to eat. The trip's ending. She's grateful for her boring trip that we didn't need to watch on TV. And Rachel said a lot about her marriage without saying a lot at all. Kafani, get the hell out of my life. My brother just called me. I declined his call and told him I am live. Now he's talking about my sister made me watch As Told by Ginger against my will.
It was a great show. Good job. It was a great show. Good job.
The grass is much greener on the other side. Now get the fuck out my life. Lord. That's my little brother, y'all. My blood brother. That's why I'm talking to him that way. But it's okay. I changed his diapers. I helped him learn how to use the bathroom. So I'm a G. But basically, Rachel lets us know that I'm going to just tell y'all my opinion first and then explain what she said. So siblings is crazy. I'm just waiting for one of James's siblings to pop in here one day. But it doesn't sound like to me Rachel and her husband should have ever gotten married, because Rachel is talking about how her marriage was going through things, and then it got to a point where he did something that was unforgivable, and we pretty much all were like, okay, so basically your man cheated on you with the model, or not with the model. Your man cheated on you with somebody. At first, I was feeling bad for Rachel, like, oh, you're embarrassed. No one wants to talk about being cheated on television. So at first I was giving her grace. But then as she kept talking, I said, Rachel, shut the fuck up. You just like Doris. I can't feel sorry for you in this divorce. So Rachel Zoe basically exposed that when her and her husband were still dating, when they got engaged, she cheated on him with a model. She said that this model was the most beautiful thing ever, and she just could not say no to him. Then that means you should have said no to your husband and you shouldn't have married him.
And should have chose the model.
But Rachel and the guy ended up staying together. She didn't get with the model and her man forgave her. Maybe he's acting this way now because of that. Then she also said some stuff like, he's never got in my way. He's always let me do stuff. Baby, a man that don't give a fuck what you doing is a man that has other shit going on the side.
Yeah.
Because my man works hard and does jobs that require him to be in the public. And really, he shouldn't be able to have his phone. But when I tell you that man gonna call me, text me, check on me, all of those things, when I am heavy into YouTube, busy, school, work, all these crazy things balancing, if I can't come to him, he will come to me. So it's very strange that nothing, like her man was just so okay with being away. But it makes sense. You cheated on him first. And I feel like that wasn't the first time.
I don't think so either. I feel like she leaving a lot out. 'Cause that was
Yes,
just too casual, like, it was kinda like she said it like it was just like it was a more than one-time thing, like, this seemed like it was a full-on affair until you got married,
that's what it
allegedly.
sounds like. Because the way
Yeah,
she described him, if it was just the nigga you fucked on once because you made a mistake, you would have been like, I made a mistake, slept with somebody. But you remember that he was a model, he was deliciously beautiful, and you just could not say no to him. That's a little weird. That's a little weird. That means that your heart was never fully with your husband. So I feel like Rachel and her husband did what a lot of colorless Americans do. They married because it was the right thing to do and it looked right, where there was never really that deep love there. But this was a weak ass episode, and I'm disappointed. And Rachel Zoe is a bore. And they're trying to amp her
agreed.
up on Watch What Happens Live. And Rachel Zoe says, I die. That's all she says. I'm over it. She says it to everything. I don't care anymore. Like, Rachel can go. Kiwan says she's an airhead on edibles. You know what?
She's something.
She does act like the
She on
clear women
something, I
in
don't know what it
California
is, but she
who constantly hit their oil pens and weed. Maybe that's what's wrong. I don't know. Shani said, and they be talking about Amanda and the bitches that comes out her mouth. Doris and Rachel, the bitches that's coming out of y'all mouths. They're boring. I don't know what Rachel was saying. Sounded to me like she might have just stepped out while she was married also. That's what it sounds like. It sounds like they each stepped out on each other too many times, and
mhm.
Rachel was just the one to be like, okay, enough.
Yeah, it seems like y'all try to one up each other and affair having, and he won because he
Yeah,
can outdo you. That's what it sounded like to me because it just didn't make sense. None of this makes sense.
it doesn't. And then she was talking about being flirted with and stuff in her gigs. How many guys flirted with you that you let have it, Rachel? And I'm not judging her for it, but I mean, it definitely looks like they should get a divorce. But I'm just like, Rachel, the way that you shared that, I'm gonna give you a pass because it's your first season as a housewife, but you're gonna have to have a better excuse at the reunion.
Yep.
But did you want to add anything? Because that's it. That's
No, actually, I gotta go. My brother just woke up, so I gotta go. So,
all right.
all right, I'll
But you
see you
guys,
guys.
that was it for this recap of the Housewives of Beverly Hills. I will be back live tomorrow on my channel at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. We'll be going over Love During Lockup with James. Other than that, y'all, check out. Oh, y'all still commenting. Feel free to go, James. Uh, oh, let me get these comments. I don't know, Rachel. Let me remove. I don't know what Rachel is saying. Oh, I went over that. What is my StreamYard doing? I think she was in a few dressing rooms with a few dudes that were not her husband. That's what it gave. That's genuinely what it gave. Rachel is throwing storyline out there until something sticks. She's probably right. She's probably right. James's brother had surgery, so that's why he had to go. He was doing it from a conference room in the hospital. I told him he didn't have to join, but he insisted. But he will be back live with me tomorrow morning. We'll be going over Love During Lockup. Kiwan J usually joins us for Love During Lockup. She does have a previous engagement that she needs to attend to, but she will be with us for the finale of Love During Lockup, which is not this week, but next week's episode. So be sure to tap in, subscribe to her channel, subscribe to James's channel, and all of the other great creators that are in the description of this video. Yes, prayers to James's brother. I will let him know that you guys sent him well wishes. Other than that, please check out the review I have on the page for the Valley Persian style. And I will see you guys tomorrow. And I will let my husband know that you said hello, Shani. I'm sure he will appreciate that. He always says hello back. Other than that, y'all, I hope you guys have a good Friday. We'll see you tomorrow. Good night.